Fellas, ladies, boys, and girls, when you rest your head at night, maybe you want to put those music off because it's time to go to sleep. Get a little white music going. White noise. Okay, all right.
White music. Wow, pow.
We're starting again. We're starting again.
What podcast am I on?
It's pull the curtain back. It's 9 a.m. We are technically listening to white music. It is Tom Petty, but I'm trying to say white noise. Look, folks, we're trying here, okay? This is the Skullet podcast, all right? Rest your head easy because at night you're not dreaming about going to school or going to work. You're thinking about growing a little skullet. This is the Skullet podcast, and to my right, we have an amazing guest. Put your hands together for Jessica Levin.
Yay, thank you. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm waking up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, can we say it's early? Is it all right?
It is 5 in the morning, everybody, and we're doing it. Listen,
I'd be just going to bed.
We're professionals over here.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks so much for coming out to Pittsburgh.
No, thanks for having, man. Pittsburgh rips. I really have had a blast.
Yeah?
Yeah. We're on our way out, but it was a great 2 days, dude.
You said this is your second time being in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the first time though was like I don't know, like not a very short amount of time. It was like half a day.
Yeah.
And I went to the Warhol Museum because I forgot that Warhol was from here.
Right.
And I totally forgot.
You think of him as a New Yorker.
Yeah, kind of. I didn't even really think about it, man. I just forgot he was this Midwest dude that like did a lot of like, advertisements and shit.
Yeah.
Which made me understand the Campbell soup stuff because I always used to hate that stuff. I was like, "What, you had Campbell soup?"
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, I get where he came from now. You
Yeah.
know. So that was Museum Rip. So then we did that, and I think I went to a Piemonte brother thing.
Of course, yeah.
And that was a long time ago. And now that I'm older and more bougie, we experienced Pittsburgh in another way, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to a killer Japanese place. Great happy hour. Got ripped. Dude, 3 beer and a shot, 3 of them for $12, dude. I couldn't get over that, man. I was like, you kidding me? I can't find that in the city at all. I'd be an alcoholic, full-fledged alcoholic if I lived in Pittsburgh.
I feel like you should be working for the Tourist Association. I mean, this sounds like a great way to get people to come to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, dude, for real, man. And yeah, it'd be funny because you should have like a New Yorker being like, listen, man, don't go to this bullshit, all right? You got to go here. Ask for James. He's the man, all right? But yeah, it was, we figured like, we got that. And then, the shows were great. And then we went to Pamela's
Diner, of course.
Dude, and you know what it was? I posted I was in Pittsburgh and friends started sending me recommendations. So I had a cheat sheet. It's not like we figured this shit out on our own.
Right, yeah.
And then we went to I went to the Carnegie Museum. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say Carnegie. I won't say it.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to, I find that insulting if I did that to you guys because it's like, I'm not from here.
Right.
I know him as Carnegie.
Yeah.
You will always have Carnegie.
Right, of course.
I'll always have Carnegie.
When people come to New York, they say Houston Street, and it's like
it's
right.
Houston.
Houston is would be wrong if they
Well,
said
what do
that.
you live in?
What's that?
What do you live in? A house, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we say Houston, because it's the OU, and we were founded by the Dutch. So those little fuckers are sprinkled out everywhere out there. Sorry, can you curse on this? Okay, cool. Like, especially downtown of New York, because that's like the oldest part of the city.
Yeah.
You're going to find Verstrom Stoop Street and, all that stuff. That's another thing I laugh around here. Because this street, I don't want to dox you.
Do it,
But,
please.
all right, I don't know. Like, the Google map was like Sherrod Street. And I'm like, Sherrod? No, Sherrod. And I know Sherrod. So I didn't know. I was like, Sherrod, what's Sherrod? And it's like, that's like a white person. I was like, I know Sherrod. It's just like weird, different, like, I don't know. You guys have different things here. You got Polish and Bloomfield. I thought that was a Jewish neighborhood. Turns out that's your Little Italy.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Jewish, huh? Everybody's like, that's a little, like, Pittsburgh's Little Italy. Big ass sign right there. So just figuring you out, but that's like, because New York's founded by immigrants. So I always loved cities with that immigrant history.
Yeah.
And you have a great labor history. So I don't know. There's like a grits here. I did a joke last night. I was like, Lord of the Rings. Uh-huh. Okay. I was like, you know what? This is the great thing about Pittsburgh. It was like founded and built by dwarfs. But now the elves are coming in and be like, listen, let's do Duolingo and listen to a couple of languages. And Google's here now. It's like, so you have these two universes like fighting,
Yeah.
So it's just, it's a fun city. It's dynamic.
See, that's one thing. I think when so this is a Skullet podcast. I'm going to keep growing out my hair. I have a Skullet.
Oh, wow. Yeah, dude.
So
you do got that. That's why you like Tom Petty.
Because what do you mean?
He had that kind of almost hair towards the end there. I'm sure he got some thin on the top and then the thing.
I think, he's spiritually, he does have a Skullet for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he rips, but I'm just,
Yeah. I think like the longer I'm going to walk around with a staff and I'll be like the Gandalf of the.
Oh
Pittsburgh.
yeah, dude, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You know, you'd probably get some chicks with that look, man.
You think so?
Why not, dude? You know what I mean? Like, there's some probably like I don't know what do you call those emo heads or whatever magic kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just hanging out by the card store.
Yeah, dude, yeah, seriously, man. That's not predatory at all. Yeah, but yeah, you probably would, dude. There's probably some freaks in Pittsburgh. I can see there's some freaks in the sheiks in Pittsburgh.
Oh, definitely.
There was one chick in the crowd the night before, and she was like she wasn't like, and I was like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything all right?" And their boyfriend was laughing, and I'm like, "Is that?" And I was talking to my buddy. I'm like, "Why would anyone want to hang out with a chick like that?" And he's like, "Well, probably she could be a freak in the bedroom. You don't know, man."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You know what? If you're that quiet and this reserved, you must be a freak. Because I'm 1950s in the bedroom, and I'm like a loud, obnoxious bitch outside. You know what I'm saying? It's like the reverse.
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
You know, right? Yeah, I am. I'll blow you and then make you a sandwich. I'm very 1950s, dude. It's crazy. We're wilding out, dude. We're doing this. Giddy up.
Yeah. So, my mind just went to the honeymooners for a sec.
To the moon house. I get that or Sam Kinison, and I'm always like, it's Clam Kinison. Right? Not wrong. Not wrong. Yeah. But yeah, Pittsburgh's been fun. Carnegie Museum rip too, and I was high for that one. It was fun. You know what it is? I was such a nerd. I was looking at this T-Rex and I was like, I don't get the hype, man. Like I didn't like these are always like T-Rexes, T-Rexes,
Right,
T-Rexes.
right.
We were in the other room and there was like a Brontosaurus, Loros. I have no clue. It was massive. I was like, whoa, that thing's massive with a long neck and a long tail. And then they show the T-Rex and he's such like he's got short arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, and only two things.
Right.
I mean, I know the universe was just trying to open mic it and figure it out, but like, they just don't. And then my buddy's like, Levin, look at the size of you and then him. And I was like, oh, all right, I get it now. He's the king. But I was just like, I'm just so sick of everyone's always like T-Rex, T-Rex, T-Rex.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't move you.
It didn't move me at all when I saw it. The other Brontosaurus, the plant eaters, looked bigger.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. That was cool. And then I don't know. I was talking a bit about this. I did a bit about this last night. I was intrigued because, you know, I miss when rich people added culture. You know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, all the nerds we have now, like, what am I getting? A Cybertruck?
Totally. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least, you know, the Carnegies, I mean, they did, you know, child labor. There's probably a lot of inbreeding and rape. But, like, at the end of the day,
All right. This
they
is
brought
when,
us
this is when the
fossils.
tourist is not working. Cut off the tourist bureau right now.
but he brought us fossils. And he
Yeah.
probably kicked, you know, Native Americans off the land to get it. That's probably another bad thing. But he got art.
Say the thing about the cheap beer again. I think that people like that more.
Cheap beer, dude. Dude, oh my God. Cheap beer. Speaking of which, the hotel we're staying at, I guess there's a rodeo happening.
Oh,
At
really?
the convention center across the street from us where
He
we were
knows about
staying.
this, Tim, yeah.
You know about this shit? Dude, it was crazy. I never seen so many cowboy hats on 22-year-old boys. And they're like, this is how we party, you know? And it
Yeah.
was weird. And they were like all drinking Busch Light, Natty Light.
Right.
It was just like, it was just a weird cultural shock to me. I bumped into these kids and I'm like, you guys are going to the rodeo? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, I never been to one. Like, do you guys gamble? Like, what do you guys do?
Yeah.
And they're like, wow, we never thought about gambling. So maybe I created a whole new scene for them. I don't know.
Oh, so they do. This is like legit, like bull riding. See,
Dude, legit bull. I've never seen any. I've never been to that shit.
For whatever reason, you said
Yeah.
that. I'm imagining like the bull riding machine, but no, it's like legit bull riders
No,
with
this
clowns
is
and
legit.
stuff.
Like, yeah, I didn't ask about the clowns. I should have asked about the clowns. I forgot there's clowns involved. No, because I was just more intrigued. This is how much of a dork I am. I was like, wow, these guys have to bring in all this dirt. Like,
Yeah, no, for real. Big truck.
big truck. Thanks, Bob Costas. Back to you, Al.
Look, I'm not adding a lot to this podcast, okay?
Yeah, big
Tim,
truck.
please, you
It's
got
like
it.
we're in a meeting. And it's just like, hey, why not a red shirt?
I don't know, man. I just hung out with my 4-year-old nephew. All I know is clowns and trucks, okay?
This school bus hat's not helping. You just like lean in and you just like big truck. No, that's the first thing I saw. I saw that. I was like, there's usually not that dirt. So I'm like, What they put tar? How do you clean that up?
I don't know. That's what That's what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking like, all right, that's good OT, but it's like, because I'm great with union workers.
You're
I'm
so
raised
blue
with union
collar. I love
workers.
that, yeah.
Oh yeah, my dad was a sanitation worker.
Oh,
And
I
then
thought you were going to say senator. I was like, what?
Yeah,
That's her way to rebel.
my dad was the attorney general. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, that'd be a scary thing. But but yeah, sanitation. And then and then uncles were all longshoremen, and that was my, yeah.
Did you ever watch that Marlon Brando movie?
So the book that it's based off of, my uncles are in it.
In the book?
Yeah.
Really? Did one of them throw a fight?
They've gone through some things, but they on the waterfront. So it was based on a journalist who wrote, I think, for the Daily News, and he did like a series on it. So it's basically, it's not a fiction. It's mostly it's not nonfiction. What the fuck? It's not fiction.
It's nonfiction.
Yeah. So it's nonfiction. So it was more of that. So but yeah, they were in it because they, back then, this is the thing. Old school like cities, you're doing illegal activity if you're gonna try to. You gotta make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're coming from people that are from the Depression. So
Totally,
it's just kind of like, yeah, I'm taking a tomato. You know what I mean? It's just, it wasn't like, I don't know. That's why I like blue collar crime.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. I like blue collar crime. Yeah, I do. I like,
What's your favorite blue collar crime?
Oh, dude, I never thought about it. I mean,
just stealing and
yeah, I like any grifting. Like I grew up like with Goodfellas. Like I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Like like that's living by your own rules because the government sucks.
Right.
It's like you're stealing.
Yeah.
So fuck you. I'm
Right,
gonna
of
make
course,
mine.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I get that kind of. I like I like city streets because they find their own ecosystem. It's the best way of seeing how humans survive,
Yeah.
Like that's the other thing. When we were going to the Carnegie Museum, it was like I went to the polar part of it all, and they were talking about the Eskimos, and I'm like, I watched this dude build a snow house in like 20 minutes. I was like, dude, are you kidding me? I can't even I can't, if I don't get coffee in the morning, I'm like, excuse me, I can't function. These dudes are carving like ice cubes and building a house.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I'm fucked. I have no survival skills whatsoever. Dude.
No, yeah.
I mean, to do that and be able to live in those extreme temperatures and grow and migrate, that's why I like museums, man, because they just make you feel like, dude, you don't matter.
That and the weed, for sure. Helps
Yeah,
out a
the
lot,
weed's
yeah.
great, dude. I like going to art museums are the shit. I like museums a lot, and that's why Pittsburgh's so wicked smart, man. You got a lot of shit going on here.
We got a lot of stuff going on. We have sandwiches. We have
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches and big trucks.
We have water.
Oh my God.
Big trucks, sandwiches.
We got a rodeo downtown, apparently. I mean,
They got clowns.
So, Jess, you're here all weekend. You're a headliner
Yeah.
at Don't Tells.
Yes, it ripped.
From all accounts, you crushed all weekend, so we're happy
thanks.
to have you through. I
No.
was curious, blue collar family. How did you get started in comedy?
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm old, so I started late, but I did theater.
Yeah.
So I was one of those, nerds. And then I went to college and I studied theater.
Where'd you go?
I went to Marymount Manhattan College. It's in New York City.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, my buddy went there.
Oh, word. Okay. Yeah. So whatever. Maybe a waste of time.
Fuck you, Dan. All right. Yeah.
How are you doing? You're a star on Broadway?
He works for Amazon.
Chase you. Follow your dreams. So anyway, I dicked around a lot. I didn't know what I was doing. I tried to do theater. Couldn't find my way. And then I would dabble. And I worked in film and TV production during the day. So it was hard for me to do open mics,
yeah.
right? So when I lived in LA, I remember I did one of my first actual open mics was at Helium in Philly because I was living there at the time because I bounced around a lot. And that was a rush. And I had fun. And I did a couple of other mics and in Philly. And the funny thing, I was this is how long ago it was. It was the era where Ian Finance was in Philly. So that's how probably Shane was around there, and I didn't even. So if I would have stayed and kept doing it, I've missed a couple scenes. Like if I started in college, I would have been around the Amy Schumer era.
Right.
If I started in Philly, I would have been blah blah blah. And then I moved to LA at one point, and then I tried the Comedy Store, and I did a mic there, and I bombed my dick off, hard.
Yeah.
like so hard. And then I went upstairs, and that's when Kill Tony was still there in the belly
wow.
room.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this? And they're like, it's another open mic, man, but this one gets crazy. And they're like, put your name in. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch this one first. And I watched it, and it was Kill Tony.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this? And then I go in my car and I cry. And then I didn't do it for a while. And then
It's like Forrest Gump, except you're not really a part of.
no, I'm not doing anything great, though. I'm not running and fucking getting AIDS. But, Jenny did that, dude. And this is not like walking off AIDS now, man. She did the full-blown one, man.
Back when it counted. That was good stuff.
Yeah, dude. Damn, man. That poor kid's going to be an orphan.
Who was that? That was Haley Joel Osment, right?
Yeah, man.
I see dead people. They're my
yeah,
parents.
man. I see dead people. Seriously. And me, too, because now I got AIDS. AIDS is funny. They had a great exhibit of that.
At AIDS?
At AIDS. No, at Carnegie Mellon, because Andy Warhol's there. AIDS. So...
It's just a picture of him? What the fuck, Jess?
Him and Keith Haring making out. Woo! So yeah, and then so I did the Comedy Store, and then whatever, and then I moved around a bit, and then 7 years ago, my best friend, who I love and adore, was like, "Levin, just go do it, man." I was like, so I started doing it 7 years ago in April, hardcore,
Okay.
of nonstop doing mics back in when I came back to New York,
Yeah.
and that's how it really started.
Okay.
But like I grew up with it. Like I grew up with Richard Pryor in my house. Like my parents like stand-up comedy. My mom's from Chelsea, New York. She saw Woody Allen in Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
That's crazy. I just started that. Yeah, she saw him in Carnegie Hall. She used to go to Cafe Wah.
Wow.
So she's from that era.
Oh, that's incredible.
So yeah, she's spoiled. She didn't realize. She's like, yeah, we just saw Woody Allen, and like
wild.
That's what's so crazy. Like my parents are blue collars. They didn't go to college, but they knew shit. So like my
Yeah.
dad met Salvador Dali on the street back in the day when my dad was sanitation. He was like, oh, I saw Salvador Dali today. Telling my mom. So it's like they knew.
Yeah.
I don't know because I have no clue, but they were very astute and they liked the arts. So they
Right.
always were they took me to theater when I was a kid. I mean, I don't know how my dad got the tickets, but
It's a little
he's got his
blue-collar crime,
ways.
found a
A
way to
little
get in
blue
there.
collar crime. Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So,
Grease some palms.
yeah, exactly, dude. So probably walked in a sanitation uniform. It's like, you got this, right? Oh, you like your Couch Patch doll? Just take the serial numbers off of it.
I feel like that's kind of a New York thing, though. I feel like the blue collar folks over there, they're just like, I sound like a fucking senator when I say that. The blue collar folks over there, they're very nice people.
Those blue folks, they're good people. They're good salt of the earth.
But I feel like
It's like you're running for re-election. That's like the Godfather.
I'm trying to be the mayor of Pittsburgh. We got trucks. I don't know. I just feel like that's like a character trait. It's like they just seem like they. I'm like, oh wow, you have thoughts on fucking now I need to name a thing.
Oh, you mean discussing
Scorsese or whatever, but not Scorsese. But they have specific thoughts about.
You know what it is too. I think also like as they grew up union, it's like talking and also like being active with what's going on around you. Like I grew up with we have a channel close to these. It's called 1010 Wins, and it's like it's like you give us what is it? 92 minutes. We give you the world. I think it is. It was like a news. It's an AF,
radio.
It's AFM radio. It's FM. Yeah, AM.
Yeah,
Jesus, I'm still stoned. AM radio, but it was just like I don't know. We grew up listening to that stuff, so we were always like, if you knew the train wasn't working, you're always involved with because the MTA sucks because they didn't write a contract. It's like you're kind of like always aware of it because it affects you every day.
Yeah.
So I grew up with that, and then for some reason the arts, like my mom, I remember I went to Carnegie. Actually, Carnegie Hall was a newer one that I went to, but the Met, we just did all that shit. So I grew up with I grew up with Richard Pryor. That's where we're getting back to. So I grew up with Richard Pryor and quoting movies. We loved movies. I grew up with The Godfather on all the time when I was a kid. Like they never shielded shit from me. I saw The Three Amigos when I was like 7, and I remember there were some words in it. I'm like, Dad, what's that? He goes, means you're gay. You know what I mean? He was never. I never was shielded shit. So, yeah, that was what it was. And growing up in North Jersey too, it was very. We had all sorts of culture. Like my good friend was from Jordan. I had another friend from Ireland, Portugal, Russian, you know. So I was just very surrounded with all that shit.
Right.
So especially at an early age, you know. And then going to New York in the 80s and 90s, that was a trip.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's like, you know, had that danger feeling. I mean, it wasn't full on Taxi Driver, but it was coming off the tail end of that.
Yeah.
So, and my dad's from the Bronx, so he'd take me to the Bronx to go see my, you know, his family. And so I just was always around the arts and stand up and culture and that. So I was always aware of it. I just never thought I could do it.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
So you're just like, well, I'll be a PA. I'll be around the
I'll
arts.
be a PA.
I'll be
a key. I'll get behind the scenes. At least I'll be able to participate in that regard. And then, I mean, at one point when I graduated college, we tried to start a theater company in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, which was so stupid. But my buddy was down there, and I was like, all right, we'll try it. And no one wants to see a Sam Shepard play. Are you kidding me, dude? It's like it's either boozing, playing tennis, or golf. You know, stealing money from poor people and like, you know, whatever the hell. And like, it was, and then if they do musicals, it's like, let's go see Fiddler on the Roof. It's on tour from Broadway, you know?
Yeah.
They're not going to see it. It's like, oh, let's go see some, like, you know, some crazy ass play about, you know, a dead baby in the backyard. You know what I mean? About the human condition. It was stupid. So that didn't work out. So I tried a lot of things and failed a lot. And I still wasn't happy when, I mean, I worked my way up to Keyset, PA. Like, I worked on Creed. I worked on a lot of cool movies. I worked on a TV show called Chicago PD.
My dad loves that show.
Does he? Yeah, boomers love that shit. They eat it up.
They
They're
love all the Chicago
Dick Wolf.
shows.
Dick Wolf. Ah! Yeah, that's, you know.
Please zoom in on that, please.
Yeah, dude, he is. Those blue hairs, that's their fucking family feud. Boom, boom. You know what I mean? That's...
You can't get enough of Chicago. I don't even understand.
they like, dude. And working on that, I gotta tell you, that was one of the hardest. That will be probably one of the hardest physically demanding jobs I would, because it was 90-hour work weeks.
Oh,
we
boy.
did night shoots in Chicago in the winter.
Oh my God.
That was one of the most, but it was the most enriching too. It was like, really, it was like we're a band of brothers. We're like, we got this, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get you some Pertulos, and I'm gonna come back here, and we're gonna finish the scene. It's 4 a.m. I'm on 4 hours of sleep. It's like that as a PA. So, and I was a key set PA, so I stood by the cameras. I had to make sure the actors were on set, and you have a bunch of people helping you, but I'm like, you know, I had to text to the producers, let them know we're on moving the next scene and all this stuff like that. So all the logistic shit.
Yeah.
Because you're there to assist the ADs that are on set. So then it's like sometimes I'd have to stare by a camera. We blew up some shit. That was pretty cool.
That's sick.
That was always fun to see that. It's like, yeah, we're blowing up a car. Sweet.
Yeah.
You know, because then you're just like, all right, let's go. Rolling. And you're just like, get the camera. It's like, once everything's set up, the bitch of it is making sure everyone's like, you know, and then once it happens, then you're like, yay. And so, yeah, did that. And then finally it was like, you're still not happy. And then started 7 years ago, and I haven't, now I'm, you know, whatever. I'm depressed, but who isn't? But I, if you're not, are you like, I don't even, you're stupid, which I'm
what is going on
jealous.
out there? Yeah, there's a few people, we have a few listeners who are very happy. Speak
Oh,
to
God,
them right now.
dude, seriously. If you're happy, I mean, I'm jealous of you. I sometimes wish I was just some religious zealot. It must be so easy. It's like, God said, God's doing it. It's like, it must be such a simple way of thinking, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Who's Gary V? I was thinking about Gary V. You know Gary V, the motivational speaker.
No.
He's just kind of like,
Yeah,
you gotta be grinding, constantly grinding, and whatever.
Really?
He's just like that guy, and he's like, you gotta put out content all the time, content.
This guy could suck it, dude.
And I'm just like, this guy
is he Russian?
He's
I think he is.
Yeah, maybe he is Russian.
Dude, those Russians are built different, dude.
I just think, who is this guy? Like the world's falling, like the world's ending, and he's like, "Come on, you got to keep fucking grinding."
Because he's Russian, dude. Do you know the history of those people, dude? They're like, it's insane. Russians can outlive. They're gonna outlive all of us, dude.
You think so?
Oh, my God.
Bryan Johnson, the billionaire who's getting blood transfusions and comparing his boners to his sons.
Shut up, dude. Who's this guy?
Bryan Johnson, the guy with translucent skin who gets blood transfusions so he continues to be young forever. He wants to live to 255 years old.
I will say I'm surprised you've never heard of Gary. I feel like for 3 years.
I think I recognize him, but I'm not on.
I just saw him nonstop in everything I looked at.
It's definitely geared towards like.
Wait, why is he doing the Thanos thing? Why is he?
Because he's just, dude. He's getting blood transfusions. Can I say blood transfusions one more time?
It's his son's blood.
Yeah.
His son gives him his blood, and then he gives his dad his blood, so it makes them younger. Apparently, how old do you think?
Is this like The Substance? Like, is this the real version? Have you seen the movie The Substance?
I fucking love The Substance. This is my favorite movie of the year.
Isn't that what
It's
he's
kind of The Substance.
what he's doing?
Yeah, no, he's trying to live like his son. His son's coming out of his back of his spine.
This is absolutely insane. These people exist?
Yes.
Oh my God, what is that?
That's his son.
That's it. He's yes. Yeah.
But that's a dude? That's a dude? He has tits.
He works out a lot. Those are
Wait,
pecs.
those are pecs? They
Yeah.
look like a size 8. Like, that's a good B cup right
Hey,
there.
he's 47 years
But
old.
it's
I mean, give him some-
droopy. The nipple's going down. Dude,
Yeah.
get your tits worked on. But that is crazy. That is creepy. Wait, what's going on with the son? That's a little too Tom Brady on the lips kind of vibes, man. Isn't it?
I know. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dude, read this sentence.
Hold on. An anti-aging fanatic. Love that opener.
Is facing fierce backlash over his quote weird and quote gross post exposing data tracking his teenage son's nighttime erections.
I'd not heard that.
What?
Bro.
You didn't hear that part? Oh, you don't get the Bryan Johnson alerts?
Dude, that is... I can't even, like... How is that not being, like on the border of pedophilia?
It's definitely on the border, but this guy's a billionaire.
But this is what's so annoying. So this is what I'm saying. Why is this guy, if he's into penises, then buy cast penises from India and create art or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not doing anything. Like, you're just for what purpose are you fucking, like, hot chicks? Like, what are you doing that for? I just don't understand. What are you doing? I'm not saying good or bad things about these things that I'm saying. I'm just saying if this is the reality, what's it for? Fucking chicks? What's it for? Boredom?
Like
Like
your own self-emulation or something. Like you're just trying to be like, his whole thing is like, I want to live forever. So it's like his
so
whole...
he's an egomaniac, you
Yes,
think?
his whole project is himself, so he's going to continue to like just to be, instead of like in the old days, we're like, oh, I'm going to die, I'm going to build a library. or
Right.
something.
But that's what I'm saying. Like back in the day, it'd be like, you know what I'm going to do? I never read a book, but I'm going to build the biggest library ever. Because that was big dick energy. Now big dick energy is a Cybertruck or getting your kid's blood transfusion so you can get erections on his schedule. That is so fucking nuts, man. That's so nuts. I just don't... You know what it is? You know what, too, dude? I wonder if it's a board that divvies up his money, like with these billionaires. Like, how do they... They can't go to a bank. What do they pay? How are they paying for shit? Like, is there a board that's like, this is your like what's he made his millions in? How did he make money?
I think it was tech startup. I think he had like something with tech startup, and then he sold it. But
There's a tech startup. I hate this general thing. It's a tech startup.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
you. I'm just saying in general. Like, what the fuck? I want more information.
I was a blue collar crime.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. I want
yeah.
some blue collar
Guy robbed a
crime. I'm
bank.
over these
Yeah.
white collar fucking nerds.
Dude, he made Angry Birds.
And
That's
Oh,
the
we
thing.
did?
No, I don't know.
I was gonna say, don't ruin Angry
that's-
Birds for me, man. I love parachuting those fuckers, man. Why they gotta ruin everything?
Every new level.
Now I
is
gotta think about this kid's erection every time I play fucking Angry Birds. I'm an Angry Bird.
I wonder the difference in like the people like him. They get all that money, tech startup stuff, versus a blue collar person that robs a couple banks, does a couple
Yeah.
scams. What do they do with that money? Then you're just a street worker. You come across 10 million somehow.
Right.
What do you do? Do you know what do they? Do you think there's different stuff they do with it? You know, if you're blue collar kind of.
Yeah, I think that like the blue
buy
collar.
buy a lot of big trucks or something. You know.
Right, exactly. But that's like good for you. You're gonna go mudding. Oh wait, you buy big trucks. Who buy you? Why did you give them the finger?
Vroom.
Yeah. You got a big truck?
No.
He's got a big van.
Oh, you got a big van. Ooh, like a minivan?
It's actually a small van. It's a pretty. We use it for the don't tells with the chairs and stuff.
Oh,
People
God
think
bless.
it's
Oh, the
weird.
white joint?
Yeah, and I
The
use
little
it-
one?
You saw it last night, maybe?
Yeah, it looks like a cartoon Ambo.
Yeah.
And it's my daily driver, and people think it's weird. But
His girlfriend thinks
That's so funny, dude. That is weird, but that's great. You do stick out with that shit here.
Yeah.
That's funny, man. But I want to go back to Blue Collar because, like, you ever seen that movie? What is it called? Come Hell to High Water.
Hell or, yeah.
Hell or High Water.
Yeah.
That was a great film, dude.
Yeah.
That was great because remember they're robbing banks.
Yeah.
Just so they could pay the farms to be like, you can go fuck off. So
Right.
so everyone can just leave me alone and live in peace on this land. See, I get that, man. Who doesn't get that, dude? I'd rather that than the opioid assholes. That was like, I'd rather pay my local drug dealer on the corner
So I'm guessing
than
you're,
the freaking,
so you're a big Luigi guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. You kidding me? Yeah. I hated it. I got into an argument. It's like because of the Atlantic and all these like, what how you say the word? Disintegration? Is that the word?
Disintegration.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm stoned. It's early.
You're
morning.
good.
Disintegration.
No, I think it's great.
Of
We're all like, maybe.
Disintegration
Dissemination.
of a society that should be acting orderly or some shit. And it's like, bro. This is a boiling pot that's boiling over, and this is what's happening now. So people are pissed, and instead of actually trying to be like, "Wow, what's going on with the situation that caused this to happen?" and the general public being like, "Yeah," but they're not. They're like, "No, peasants."
Right.
It's like this is not how you act. And I'm like, all right, so fuck you, Atlantic. I'm not giving you my $70 a month.
Right.
When you've thank you, teacher at Yale. Like what? Everyone's so like. That's another thing I'll say. When my parents grew up in New York. When my mom grew up in the villa, Chelsea, in her building, you had a cop and you had a violinist for the Philharmonic. You had a writer, a cartoonist for the New Yorker, like all in the same building. Everyone lived. Now it's the class division has gotten so crazy.
Yeah.
Where we've created our own red line systems, So that's why people are so like everything's niche. That it's like we're not eating each other's and fucking each other's food anymore. You know what I mean?
I'm still fucking those foods. I'll tell you.
I fuck food up. Oh, look at me. You know what I mean, dude? I'm all about that shit. That's what when I come to cities, that's what I like to.
Yeah.
That's how you figure out, what's going on by their food and
Totally.
Whatever entertainment. That's why I like comedy because it's guttural.
So you're going to Pottstown pretty soon, right? Soul
Yeah,
Joe's?
dude. Soul Joe's rips. I love that place, man. I can't wait to go back.
Well, you're talking about food. I was at Pottstown. I was at Soul Joe's last weekend, right?
Oh, word.
And I got stuck in that storm.
Oh, word. I forgot. Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
So I had to stay an extra day.
Okay.
And we're going to this bar, and I'm like, okay, we're going to watch I'm a Ravens fan. So we're going to watch the Ravens game, right?
Oh, man, yeah.
Bar's closed because of the storm. We go to this
Right.
Indian restaurant.
Right.
Indian restaurant, they're just like, we'll figure out. We'll put it on the TV.
No
so we
way.
ended up watching this TV. It was like just me and my friend, and they brought us all this nice food, and they're like, hey, we got a few like specialty beers in the back, not even on the menu. They give it to us. It's like, hey, we got some other chicken things or whatever. We normally don't. We're making special. So we had this whole meal, and then I was like, I don't even care who wins anymore.
Dude, that is sick. That is like a Christmas Story when the turkey gets eaten and they go to the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And they get that is like one of the most memorable things ever. I love that kind
Absolutely.
of shit, man. And an Indian restaurant too. That's sick. That's like the most comforting food on the planet too. When
agree,
you're
yeah.
in like, yeah.
But going now, let's go to like the disintegration of America and the world, right?
Right.
So as soon as the game is over, I realized that I've been focusing so much on football,
Right.
And then suddenly a huge emptiness hits me because I'm like, oh my god, like these last 5 months, and I'm just like, I get so sad suddenly, and I'm like, fuck, I have this huge hole in my life, and I'm like, is football good?
So
and they just been pushing it up, so I'm like,
funny.
I'm just like so much more interested in like. I don't know. I listen to like sports podcasts constantly, and now I just have this emptiness, and I'm just like, the void is there,
Dude, that is so funny. You had an existential crisis.
I have been. This week has been really tough for me.
That is so crazy. But I get it, dude, because I've gone it through. Because I'm all right, I'm a weird kid. I grew up in North Jersey, so I'm a Mets fan because my mom was a hardcore Mets fan.
Yeah.
Football was kind of all over the place because my dad was a big Green Bay Packer fan because of Vince Lombardi.
Yeah.
And I think he liked the idea of the Packers being owned by a town,
Sure.
all that stuff. So he was a big Packers guy. So when we moved to PA outside Philly in a suburb, that was during the, McNabb years. So I got involved with the Eagles. So I became an Eagles fan. And I was massive. I played fantasy football. I was really into it. This year, it finally dawned on me that last year it started itching that maybe I can't keep up with football anymore. And it did kind of be like, that was part of my identity for so long. Like
Yeah.
I got into drunken fistfights almost with people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're all alone and we all die alone. It went from Bryan Dawkins, I'll die for you, dude, to like, nothing matters. The pigskin's not even real pigskin. Tom Brady's kissing his kid. Dawkins retired. What am I doing?
Oh my god. It's so.
Birds.
Go Birds. I mean, a cheesesteak. Go Birds, man. I completely understand. So this year I was kind of like, I've let go. My buddy's still like I was gonna maybe go to his house to watch it. I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be there because I kind of have let go.
Yeah.
And he's like, they gotta win. It's okay if they don't win. I'll be okay, but I'll be disappointed. And I'm like, oh man, I can't. I'm not that way anymore.
Yeah.
And I get it though. But I get it though.
What is it
'cause
like
I
on the
was.
other side though? And how do you feel? Do you feel like you know, is it better?
I'm doing more like, you know what it is? I still have it on in the background while I'm doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to get back into collaging.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about that. Collaging.
It's all been like blue collar grit. And it's just like,
Yeah, dude.
rodeo.
My
I
picture.
actually glue pictures on a piece of paper now.
Totally rubbing through the garbage. My dad did it. His dad did it.
And then my other room are my dioramas.
Yeah. Dude, I got really hooked onto those too at the museum the other day. I was like, those look fun.
So sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so dumb. But I really am thinking about doing like collages of every city I go to.
Oh, I kind of like that.
You know what I mean? Because also I like it for like a sense memory thing. Like when because visually, it's like,
Sure.
what are the memories of like when I leave Pittsburgh? You know, stupid. It's just I make collages, so I do that sometimes. To like, also I like all art mediums. Like I play clarinet. I'm trying to pick that up again.
Like Woody Allen.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, man. I know. Fine, pedophile, but great movies. I'll say it. I'll say it. Guy can make a movie. Guy can make a film. I love those long shots, dude. There's some great walk and talks in that film, dude. His writings has biting sense of humor. It's part of the American, dystopia. Shut up. But yeah, that's another thing too. People gotta remember, like August Wilson's from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking loved Fences. The snot coming out of the nose scene. So I like plays a lot. So what the fuck was I going with this? Sorry, I'm high.
Collages of every city.
Oh,
you go
collages
to.
of the city I go to. So yeah, I do collages. And yeah, I just try to keep busy with always creating right now. That's what I want to start doing movies, like shorts.
Yeah.
I hate the word sketches for some reason. It
Yeah, you
bothers
mentioned
me.
that. Yeah, go into that. Why do you hate that?
I just hate the word sketches because it's like, oh, your little sketch. Like, it's just something like, I don't know. Because, like, some of the stuff I saw you post, I love it.
Yeah.
And I like sketches, like, you know what it is? It sounds childish to me. The word sounds childish. And I'm not saying that it is.
Yeah.
Just, it's like the word panties. I can't say panties. It's like, I hate that word. The sound of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like, oh, don't forget my purse. Like, what are we in the 1920s? Like purse panties. It's the P.
Like potty.
Like potty.
Like if someone said that, yeah, I'm gonna go potty.
Yeah, like,
Like
I wouldn't say
grown
that to a
adult,
3-year-old. I wouldn't even say that to. It's like, oh, you're gonna go potty? It's like, oh, you need to go to the bathroom. You pee. I do pee before potty. I don't know, something about that. And word sketches for something, it's like I don't know what it is. I hate it.
Sketch.
Like sketch to me is just silly. You do it like I liked what was it? The burying, helping your friend burying a dead body. That's film.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's film.
That's
That's
what I
not
think, too.
sketch.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's higher thinking.
You mentioned plays and stuff. Have you watched any good plays lately or movies?
You know what? I did go see Our Town. You know what? I'll talk about this. It annoys me. The play Our Town is a play that is like overlooked. People are like, "Well, it's dumb," because you're forced to read it.
Please, actually, because I don't like Our Town. Please give me.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
From school, I didn't like it.
I
Now
get
it's
it.
like let's.
I get it. When I saw it, we had to read it when I was in the 7th grade. I think.
Yeah.
No, yes, maybe 7th grade. I'm trying to think. And she showed us the Spalding Gray version. I remember watching it and being like, it wasn't familiar to me. It was like, all right, whatever,
Right.
And then as I got older, I reread it when I was in my when I was back in college. And I like it and then I just recently saw it because they brought it back to Broadway with Jim Parsons and Katie Holmes. And what's that other actor?
Jim Parsons is a narrator, I guess.
Yes, stage manager.
Okay.
Which is perfect for him. But it's the true American Gothic. It's like, because it's like you have these people that are dead. It was very surreal for back in the day,
Right.
And it also is so great because the stage manager part is like, we're all specks in the sky.
Huh.
So you have this guy overlooking, but like nothing matters. It's like very, like, I don't know how to say it, but American Gothic. It's like, what I mean by Gothic, like, holding a skull, like E2, but to be or not to be. It's got that kind of like Jacobian, style to it. So it's stripped down to its skeleton. and it's not this like regular play that's like, gee, Jenny, and it has that in there. But then you have a stage manager being like, all right, go away. You know that kid you just saw? He was really brilliant. He had a bright future ahead of him, and he went to college and he studied all these things, and he was going to do amazing things, and he was going to help, humanity. But then he ends up going to war and dies.
Wow.
All that education for nothing. And that's the part of the scene in the play.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what the fuck? It's like,
Cutting, yeah.
It's cut, it's like these guys are living this universe. Meanwhile, above them all, there's like, this is what happens.
Right.
So it's not this like, oh, gee, jolly cheesy thing. It's actually got some depth to it, and it's actually has a darkness to it and an existentialism,
Do you think that they show it to you when you're young because you're not going to get it, and then you will return to it and then get it?
I guess so. I think a lot of teachers don't know how to like reach it. I think it's just like they show you this thing where it's like this exists, and your brain is not ready to actually completely understand what you're seeing in its full scope.
Right.
But they show it to you to expose you to it.
Yeah.
And maybe you go back to it, maybe you don't. But
Yeah.
it's like but to me, it still must affect me at some point, because I do remember seeing Spalding Gray, like visually. I remember him, and also visually, what I remember, it was such a stripped down stage.
Yeah.
It wasn't this like impressionism kind of like where it's this pretty beautiful scene. It's like it's stark. It's like a black box theater, which is that's pretty intense for back in the day if you think about it. It's like, because I can't remember when he comes down. I want to know when Our Town was written.
Yeah, for those at home, Tim is, I think he's shitting his pants or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because of the coffee
He
hit.
had to change. He's got to change his underwear.
But
or
I
something,
wonder.
yeah.
So anyway, you tell me. Sorry, I went on a fucking
No, but that's
rant.
great. No, because that was my impression. I was just like, oh, they're pantomiming. It just seemed very corny and like.
Exactly. That's
like,
when I was a kid. That's what I thought it was too.
Yeah.
I thought it was like very corny too. Because like, doesn't the world know?
Yeah.
And the same time, I was like, no, you don't. You die, and that's what happens, and the world goes on.
Yeah.
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 So that's what. Tim, can you look up when Our Town was written? I cut you off because I'm sorry, I got excited. But like, what? So you thought it was corny?
I thought it was corny, just like I don't really understand. It's like there's a narrator guy, and it's like,
Yeah.
and the pantomime actually really bugged me, and it just sort of seemed bad. But okay, what year did it come out? 1913. 1901.
Oh, that was what he was.
No, sorry, 1938. I'm an idiot.
Still,
There you go.
no, but 1938. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's sorry. When did World War II end? 42. Okay, so this is pre. So you know what I mean? That turn of the century, kind of like that era. I think that's pretty hardcore. That's pretty
sure.
punk rock for that era.
Absolutely.
Of pantomiming, not having real.
Of course. Well, wait. So this is during the war. This came out.
Depression.
Yeah, it'd be like right before, like stuff was cooking up, but I don't think.
Right.
Well,
So probably a lot of unease and stuff, and we're just like not really sure what the
It'd be like
future.
if a play came out right now.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. So I think that I think that that's
So that's a very telling thing. It's the turn of the century. So there's a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
So I think that's the problem with teaching us shit. It's like, let us know like when it's like when this was being done. It adds so much more dimension to it. For if you're thinking about in that regards, you're like, wow. So it's like a pressure cooker of its own time, But I get you. If you're only seeing the pantomiming and the whole part of the whole Grover Corners, whatever the hell, that part of it only, then you're like, this is cheesy. But the stage manager and the movement of time,
Totally.
like there's one scene where they're talking, and in the middle of the scene, and you're like involved, and the stage manager's like, all right, ladies, we're done. Go away.
yeah.
He stops the fucking scene, and you're like, and Jim Parsons was perfect at it because he's got that perfectism for it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
That tism that spawned
That
three
tism
different
is perfect,
franchises.
dude. I was like, that's the tism kicking in. He's stimming. This is the stim part. I love it.
it's like yo.
I have stims. I think I might be autistic. When I get happy and there's food, I'm like, yay! Ah!
I think we had a little bit of time. I was just curious. You went to Dubai, right?
Yeah, I went to
What the
Dubai.
hell was that like?
I joined the Taliban. No, I'm kidding. And I got out.
That's blue collar crime right
Yeah,
there.
baby. Selling arms, son. Let's go. I never shot a gun in my life. So my best friend, who also funny comic, Talal Al-Yan, I love his pieces. He is Palestinian, so there's some shit going down. If you heard.
What?
So he had to get married in Dubai, basically.
Oh,
and he
wow.
lived in Dubai for a long time because his wife, who's, I think she's Catholic, but she's also a Palestinian.
Okay.
her family's so they decided to do Dubai because that's like a perfect place where everyone can meet and actually get married and be Muslim. And so he did that, and we went to Dubai for the wedding. So it was pretty incredible. I'm not a big Dubai fan. It's fake. Mm-hmm. It's a very fake place. I didn't know what I was getting into because, as you can see, I'm not on TikTok and Instagram all the time, being like knowing what's going on. I'm not on YouTube. I'm kind of like a boomer with it. I don't care if you're not in my wheelhouse. There's too much other shit. I'm on the back nine. I want to keep like the brain with good shit. I don't care about knowing Haktua girl having a Bitcoin. I don't care. I'll find out.
Yeah, it's but you're not on it, but it still somehow manages to get to you where you have like the reference.
Yeah, it'll come to me. I live in New York. I'll see a ticket today and be like, oh, talk to a girl's dead. Okay, cool. So it's like, moving on. Oh, this octopus. Ah! So it's like the world keeps going. That's that's me being a stage manager in my life. It's like, talk to a bitch, bye. Oh, cool, Picasso painting. That's enriching. You know what I mean? I try to keep nourishing the soil with good shit. So I got high again and I forgot where I was going. Dubai. So I went to Dubai. So I was excited because I was like, I like history. Like, as you can see, I like a city that has some beds, like, good foundation of history and culture, and there, I'm sure there was and is, because there's probably people that are living in the, like they had their Native Americans there that were living on tents in the desert and had a whole life. And there's old Dubai, but the new Dubai is all like, oh, right, I can go to a mall with a ski resort and a Sephora. Like, what? Who cares? And I didn't realize everyone gets plastic surgery there. Oh. Dude, these bitches are getting like 20,000. I'm like, you're wearing a burqa. What are we doing this for? Wow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. You want to look hot, but it's like, it's just weird, It just, I didn't realize how, I guess, shallow. I'm just not into that world. I'm not into fat. I'm too fat to wear Burberry yet, and I did get ripped off at a souk though. I bought knockoff Burberry. They have like a Canal Street there, Canal Street, New York, where you buy fake purses and stuff. Yeah. Well, they have a gold market. It's known for its gold because you can get carats that you can't get in America. Like 32 carat. Apparently there's only so many carats we can buy here.
I was thinking like legit like eating carrots, but you're.
Oh no, we're talking no bunny rabbits. It's not bunny rabbits. We're talking.
Sorry.
We're talking, dude. We're talking Dubai, son.
I gotta go to Dubai.
Royce. Oh man, there's so many bunnies. They got carrots.
32 types of carrots in big
trucks.
trucks.
Wow, purple carrots, yellow carrots. They got carrots there you never even understood, dude.
It's good for your vision.
Clowns, fucking you idiot.
Sorry.
I love it, dude.
But you got ripped off.
So I got ripped off. I was in the souk. I was buying, silver. And the guy's like, I was like, oh, you got Burberry perfume. And he's like, you like Burberry? We take you. And I'm walking. I'm like, this is a bad idea. Before I know it, I've got 2 scarves. I bring it back to the hotel. There's backwards R's on all the stuff. So it's not the right shit. And I got pissed and I ran down there and I was like, you're giving me my fucking money back before I kick. Oh, I did. Because it's the middle of a souk. It's the middle of a tourist area. Right. So I'm like, I'll scream. I'll be that white woman. I'm going to take advantage of my, with privilege. So here we go. And I'm like, give me my fucking money back. And he gave me my money back.
Good
but
for you.
Yeah, fuck that. Well, my New Yorker came in and I can hear my dad being like, what the fuck you doing, bitch? Like, I raged. What are you doing? Like, you sucker. That's the big thing of when my dad was like, don't be a sucker. And I got sucked. So whatever. And then
sucked by a souk.
Yeah, dude. But then but they went to an Arabian tea place that was dope. There was some great people I met there. I did comedy there, which was crazy.
Oh, really?
Because you can't do religion or politics. And I have a joke that I didn't realize I had religion in it because I say hamdulillah on my pussy. And yeah, I became the Lenny Bruce of fucking Dubai.
Shit, that's so cool.
Well, I did it because I was so stupid. I have a joke, and the rhythm of a joke when you're used to saying it 80 million times. And I was like, man, it's so great to be here. I love Arabs. I've been fucking Arabs forever, which I have. Shout out Adil. So his name was Adil Bum Muhammad Barati, and I'm doxing him. Fuck him. And I was like, you can buzz it out. I don't care. So, who I met in Hilton Head, by the way. So I have this joke where I was just like, so I love Arabs. I'd be like, hamdulillah, my pussy. And I was in a hotel, so it was just like a lot of expats there. And they're like, ha ha. But word got back to the next show I was going to, which is more of a local show where they have the cops are dressed in that white, I don't know what it's called, I'm sorry, but the white thing and the whole thing, it's their whole uniform. So he comes to the show a lot and he's like, he sits there and he has fun and he's one of the locals that loves it. So when I got there, they heard about it. They're like, wow, you said hamdulillah, my pussy. And they're like, I'll put it this way. If you go up there and do it and I film you, I can't post it until I leave the country. And I'm like, oh, wow. And it's basically what happens is they could get fined. It's not like you're going to get beheaded. Everyone you get fined, but it's a massive fine. And the fine goes to the bar, and then the bar will fine the show. And I didn't do that joke once I found out there on that show because I was like, before I was ignorance and fun, and I didn't realize it, and I didn't understand. And the other show didn't mind at all. I was just telling the other show, and they're like, that's crazy that you did that. So I didn't do it there. But I just was like not even thinking about it. You know what I mean? But it shows you the freedoms, I guess, we have for right now.
Did you realize it as you said it or later?
No, I got stitched like, that was great. Thanks, man. Like, so like dumb, like a dumb American. Thank you. Parlez-vous français.
You need to leave.
Thank you, sir. You know what I mean? Like totally dumb American. You know what I mean?
It is.
Take all Asian culture and put it in one.
I do wonder if that guy that sold you the stuff, how many people, like blue collar people who have that Jersey, New York vibe,
right,
are in Dubai. He's like, what is this? Like, scared. Like, I've never had somebody come confrontational like that with me before.
Right. Well, yeah. He was like, we were trying to do. We thought you wanted fake stuff. I'm like, you thought I wanted fake stuff? What says to you that I want something fucking fake? I just was like, yeah, I full on went like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. Ignorance again. I was ignorant, but I was like, you know what? We're rolling the dice, baby. Sneak eyes. Fuck. So, yeah. But it was a wonderful experience anyway. I met great people. But yeah, I'm good. Like, and also the indentured servitude, like Bangladeshis and Indians over there, that's their Mexicans. Like they take they have to, but it's worse there. They take their passports and they have to, for years, like at 25 cents on the dollar, they pay back for it. So it's extortion. Yeah. So the labor practices are awful over there. And they still can't do drugs. There's still homophobic shit. Like it's around, but they don't talk about it. So there's some things where it's like, but they want white people money. You know what I mean? That's why now the new thing is in Qatar. Yeah. It's like, and also I hear Dubai is kind of like fake money. Like the real money is, what the fuck? Abu Dhabi. That who has the real dough. Dubai is just like some fake, like they had to bring in sand from Jordan because you can't really build the buildings off of what they're off of.
In like big trucks?
I guess so. And the clown came.
The same guys that did the rodeo in Pittsburgh did Dubai?
Dude, they could do it. That's what they should do. It's like, drop those rodeo fuckers over there, man. There you go, guys. You got all the sand on the planet. We did ride ATVs in the desert, and that was gnarly.
That is fun,
yeah, that was crazy. And I held a falcon and shit.
You held a falcon?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was nuts. They had a falcon. Like, I went to this thing where it's like, this is where it gets weird. I don't know. Like, it's tourism and they dance with fire. And it's just like, all right. It's kind of like sandals. But it was like, you know what I mean? But it was like, they pick you up from the hotel. You go ATVing into the desert. And then you eat like a barbecue. Like, awesome food, and then there's dance fire. And you hit a hookah. And you do all this thing. And they have tourist shit there to rip you off. I bought perfume. Like, stupid shit like that. But there's a falcon. You could ride a camel. Which, riding a camel, dude, no thank you. If I had that shit sucks. Even like when they get down, you're like, whoa, like because they're so like, they're like, it's like they're like a Salvador Dali painting just melting. It's just like their legs go under and you're just like, whoa, and then it's just like, and then it goes down. But even riding those things, you're like, I'm like, I'm not Lawrence of fucking Arabia. What's going on here, man? This thing blows, dude. And so I couldn't do that. There's no way. But it was an experience. And they had these little miniature ponies. It's just so funny. The extravagance of money over there is such a different concept from what we are over here. Yeah. Like they have like, gold tissue paper. Right. Yeah. So it's just that whole way of thinking stretches there. So it was interesting for that regard. And then I went to Ireland, and that was amazing. I like Ireland a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
In the same trip.
Yeah, what happened was I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm gonna leave Dubai, and then I wanted to maybe stop in Spain or France, but I was like, I only had a limited amount of time. I only had like 4 or 5 days left, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Ireland because I want to go back anyway, and it's the easiest one of them all because it's like I can speak English. I don't have to worry about it. I can figure it out.
Yeah.
I rented a car. I drove a car. That was gnarly, though, when I went south.
Opposite side of the road?
Oh, yeah. The opposite side of the road, they drive fast, and the side roads are wicked small. Wicked small. So it's just like, and people are peeling out, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And I did comedy there from Thursday to Saturday, nonstop spots. I had like 13 shows, 14
Holy
shows.
shit, that's incredible.
It was incredible. So great
Yeah.
scene, great people, and the rugby League of Six Nations was happening, so I was watching that. So it was a good vibe, man. It was
Yeah.
a lot of fun, and I was by myself at that point, so
Oh, wow.
it was cool. So I was able to like, and the people are amazing. Everywhere I went, people were buying me beers.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was sick. It was
Yeah.
just like the perfect way to cap. And also, when you go from Dublin to New York, you do customs on the Dublin side. So when you land in New York, it's like taking a domestic flight. You get off and you just go to domestic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So it was just sick. So I recommend if you're going to Europe, go out of Dublin,
All right.
because that's just, you don't have to worry about any of the bullshit. It was the easiest flight I've ever had, and it's like a 5-hour flight.
All right. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back as soon as I can. I love it there, dude.
Well, Jess, you've been incredible. Really appreciate you coming through
Dude,
to
thanks
Pittsburgh.
for having me, man. Pittsburgh rips.
To the podcast.
Yeah, man.
Here, we'll give you a little sticker here, the Skullet podcast.
Oh,
We
nice,
appreciate you
dude.
doing it.
Look at that little bald little head, dude. That's great.
So, did you ever see the movie Love Lies Bleeding? This is like our last thing. Also, before we get to this, where can everyone find you?
Oh, Instagram. I need Instagram followers. This stupid
I
clip game
understand, I know.
bullshit. J Lev Comedy. JLEV Comedy at that's at my handle. Like J Lev Comedy, and then that's it for YouTube too. If you still do Twitter at Levin Comedy, but YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, it's all J Lev Comedy.
Great, awesome.
Yeah.
So, did you see this movie Love Lies Bleeding?
Oh my God, no!
This
but
is the
dude, I haven't
impetus.
seen this film yet. I want to see his film,
This
but
is
holy
the
crap!
impetus for the Skullet. So Ed Harris, bald icon, started growing out his hair. I was a shaved guy for 10 years. I saw this movie and then I started growing the Skullet. You know,
Dude, I gotta tell you, wow, dude, I didn't even know he was in it.
he's the villain. He's the
Oh
he's
man,
the
I
dad.
love Ed Harris,
Yeah.
dude. That's great.
Yeah.
Wait, so that's your okay?
that's
so
my
are
vision
you,
board. Yeah, that's
how's
my,
that going for you?
What do you think?
I mean, I wouldn't fuck you, but I mean, I don't know.
I think that's the most honest reaction we've had so far.
It's usually like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? It's like, that's the question.
Yeah, and I'm just letting you know my opinion, but hey, there might be some other blind people out there, and that like you for who you are. Hey man, I'm in the same fucking boat. I'm a fetish, dude. Oh wow, fat bitch. I can put my dick in her rolls. You know what I mean? So I'm not. I'm in the same boat, brother. Keep paddling, bitch.
Well, this has been the Skullet podcast.
Thank you for having me, for real. I appreciate it. It was a blast.
So we always ask this one
Yeah.
question. So we go. So I started growing this in the beginning, and it was kind of like it was like stupid. It's why would I do this? And I thought
Right.
it'd be just a funny, weird thing to do.
Right.
But now that I'm doing it more, I'm committed. I'm fully committed to
Right.
this thing, and I'm just kind of curious. I don't know why I do it, but it's like I feel like I had to. I just wanted to see. Like,
Right.
So is there anything in your life, like other than comedy, that maybe like friends, family, loved ones were like, you shouldn't do this, but deep down you're like, I gotta do it. So like, what is your Skullet? You know what? I don't know. The only thing I think of right now that I'm thinking of something that's very hard to do. Yeah.
That I doing it is like I want to be a model. No, I'm just kidding. But I want to lose weight. I really want to lose weight. I used to love models too, but I really, and that's like a daunting. This whole weight losing shit is a daunting motherfucking task, dude.
Yeah.
Not to get sorry, it's getting through it, but it's fucking what it is. It's like changing my eating habits. Like I'm totally changing my brain. I didn't realize food was an addiction.
Yeah.
And it is. We don't fucking. And it's like, God damn. Like, and also drink. I don't know. There's so many the losing weight thing. That's the only thing. That's my Skullet, because I think it's just gonna it's just wanna. I'm over it, dude. And I also want to fuck hot dudes. And it's that's why I'm doing it, dude. That's my Skullet, and that's the only thing I can think of. That's my Skullet. Sorry, it's not fun.
Oh, listen, not everything can be
Yeah.
growing a Skullet as a bald guy,
But yeah, just fucking losing weight sucks. You know what it is? I don't like the boring life of it all.
Yeah,
It's gotta be boring. I gotta eat a piece of chicken and not drink. What do you mean not drink? Like drinking's fun, dude.
Yeah.
Do you drink?
I drink, yeah.
Yeah, good, man. Because I just don't get. Well, there's a lot of people not drinking now.
This blue collar, I was like, you drink? Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's
Don't ever
drinking.
stop, kid.
Yeah, dude. So it's like, and I doubt I'm gonna ever lose the amount of weight where I'm like, all right, I just want to lose some. Like, if I lose 20 pounds, I'll be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Because that's my. I'm just fucking doing it, dude. I don't care. And even though you have society being like, but yeah, it's fine. I mean, because I am healthy for some reason. I don't know how. I'm still healthy. I just got blood work done. They're like, your cholesterol is great. Everything's great. You're doing great. And I'm like, well, what the fuck then, dude? So it's like, they're like, but you're fine. Like, health is about that. I'm like, I don't care. I want to be hot and I want to wear a Burberry trench coat and I want to ride a guy and I want to be like, this is the shit and not feel my fat fun on your fat. That's my Skullet.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Jess, you're the best. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thanks, buddy.
What an incredible guest. Make sure everyone follow her. Also, please rate, review, subscribe. It helps us out a lot.
Yeah, review and subscribe, assholes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And remember, folks, not all growth is good. Just keep it in the back of your head.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.